Hello Amusement Park Portal, thank you for tuning in. In this video I thought it'd be fun to look back at the troubled Son of Beast coaster, which was located at Kings Island Amusement Park near Cincinnati, Ohio, and see what led to its demise. And to get started, we're going to go back in time and take a look at the beginnings of this coaster back in 1999 when it was first announced. Now, 1999 was a big year for coaster announcements in the state of Ohio, as Cedar Point announced Millennium Force. This steel giga coaster was set to open in the year 2000, and Kings Island, being their biggest competition, only a few hours away, had to come up with something of their own. So in response to Millennium Force, Kings Island made one of the most ambitious announcements for any coaster ever created at the park. And after much speculation, the park came out and finally announced Son of Beast. This would be the tallest and fastest wooden coaster in the world. And in addition to that, it would be the only wooden coaster in the world that featured an inversion. Now, Son of Beast had some really gaudy stats. It had a height of 218 feet, a drop of 214 feet, and a length of 7,032 feet, putting it just behind the classic Beast coaster. Now, one of the biggest highlights of Son of Beast was its inversion. Now, unfortunately, this inversion only lasted a few years, from the time it opened in 2000 to about 2006 when it was removed. Now, the reasoning behind the removal of the loop was because the trains were too heavy for the structure to support, and it was tearing it apart. So in order to put on lighter trains, they had to remove the loop. Now, Son of Beast opened in 2000 to much fanfare, and its mammoth structure just dominated Kings Island skyline. You could pretty much see it from anywhere in the park and driving into the park from miles away. Now, unfortunately, all that fanfare was short-lived. Shortly after Son of Beast's opening, guests started complaining about the rough experience of the ride. And over the next several years, that experience just got worse. And guests of Kings Island started taking notice. And the lines for this ride, well, they shrunk. Most times it was a walk-on. And it didn't take long for Kings Island to notice all this. So they did what they could. Like we mentioned, they removed the loop. They tried new trains that were much lighter than the original trains. They even replaced a lot of sections of wood. However, none of that really seemed to help much, unfortunately. And unfortunately, over time, there were several injuries to riders on Son of Beast. In 2001, a guest broke their neck while riding. Well, two guests actually, but both had pre-existing medical conditions. Nonetheless, not a good look. There was actually a third rider that fractured a vertebrae in 2003. A fourth rider reported back pain after riding Son of Beast in 2007 and died one day later. A serious head injury to a fifth rider in 2009 involving a burst blood vessel ultimately led to the ride's permanent closure. In addition to all those injuries, in 2006, a train derailed that injured 27 riders, and it was linked directly to structural issues with the ride itself. And that eventually led to multiple lawsuits, finger pointing, and so on between the coaster manufacturer, Kings Island, and actually the lumber company that supplied the wood to build the coaster. So in June of 2009, Kings Island closed the Son of Beast roller coaster to give it a complete evaluation to see what their next move would be. And the ride just sat there for 3 years until late July 2012. Following evaluation of the coaster, Kings Island announced that Son of Beast would be removed from the park to make room for a future expansion. And sure enough, demolition did begin on the Son of Beast coaster, and guests started to wonder what the future of this plot of land held for the park. And by November of 2012, Son of Beast was completely gone. And after all types of speculation, Kings Island finally announced in 2013 that Banshee will be debuting at the park in 2014. Now, Banshee itself has some really impressive stats. Has a length of 4,124 feet, a height of 167 feet, a drop of 150, a top speed of 68 miles per hour, and it has 7 inversions during its 2-minute and 40-second ride cycle. Now, even though Son of Beast is completely gone, there are still several Easter eggs and remnants of the ride in existence today, like this memorial in line for Banshee. And for a few years there, they were using the old Son of Beast trains as a Halloween prop during their Halloween event in October. But by far the biggest remnant is the ride station. It still stands today. Now, they have used this in the past as a haunted house. I think it was a werewolf-themed haunted house at one time, but they haven't used it in several years, but you can still see it. If you go to ride the Bat Coaster, just simply look to your right shortly after you enter the line for the Bat, and you can see the Son of Beast station still standing today. So I'm curious, how many of you actually had the chance to ride Son of Beast? Let me know in the comments down below, and also let me know how your ride experience was on it. Now, personally for me, I'm glad it's gone. It wasn't a very enjoyable ride. You come off with a headache, and actually the last time I rode it, I had blood dripping down my leg. It was horrible. Whoever designed the trains there near the end, they put the handlebar right there by your knees, so all the jackhammering that you did receive during the ride, your knees were bouncing all over, smacking into the handlebars. And yeah, not good. Now, I do have to mention that when Son of Beast was first built, Paramount ran the park. And in June 30th of 2006, Cedar Fair bought the Paramount Parks for $1.24 billion. That acquisition included Canada's Wonderland, Kings Island, Kings Dominion, Carowinds, and Great America. So with that being said, do you think Cedar Fair made the right decision by removing Son of Beast? Or would you have liked them to look at companies like RMC to try to fix the problem? I think an RMC Son of Beast could have been pretty interesting, but expensive as well. Are you happy with the decision they made to put Banshee in? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm really interested in your thoughts. Alright, so that's going to do it for this brief little look back at Son of Beast at Kings Island. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I want to thank you for watching and ask that you please hit that like and subscribe button down below. It does help us out a lot, and we appreciate it. So with that being said, that's all for this video, and we'll see you guys out on the midways real soon. Take care, everyone.